Hi guys, thank you for calling in for our Gym is in Action weekly team call. So sorry about last week. There's just errors sometimes. And last week we had a little techie problem, and I swear Jen and Adam had a great call, and they really were ready to talk with you. But there's only one paid Zoom link on this team that I know about, and someone was logged in as me. We didn't know who it was to get them to log out, for me to log in and host it. And sorry about that. So I know you guys had a night off last week, but we're all excited to be here tonight. Just a couple of fun things, kind of announcements or things like that I want to chat with you about before we pass the call over to Jen and Adam. For those of you in the Denver-ish area, I have resumed with Ignite Your Life. Those are our Wednesday opportunity meetings. We're hosting them similar to what Tanya and Trudy taught us at Celebration. So for those of you in the Denver area, just know that we're going to be consistent with them. Feel free to invite people, send people. If you want to host, share your story, like the more the merrier. And along those notes, if you guys did not watch, I would highly encourage you to watch the recording that Christina Swift did last night. It's 18 minutes on the holiday sample sip. There's something that's a funny name. I'm messing up the S's. Anyway, it's super short, but they're talking about how when you submit that you're going to host this product, we're going to, for the first time ever, have a seasonal, that's what it is, seasonal sip and sample. And we're going to have a seasonal catalog that we're going to have products that are just for the holidays. And so it's a great way to get people to host it or you to host it just on the seasonal ones. So you'll see some of my Wednesday nights are really going to be focused on that. In the past, we've done events that also were combined with, we were raising toys for like the Boys and Girls Club or canned foods for the homeless shelters, whatever that may be. But just think about throughout the holiday season as we're promoting holiday products and ways to stay healthy, also ways that we can really focus on contribution and service. So if you guys haven't watched that, watch it. It's super short. Get yours scheduled. It's just a really fun way outside of like nutritional cleansing to invite your friends over. And I don't know what the seasonal products are. I don't have a heads up on the catalog. I wish I did, but I know that's getting released to us all soon. So you can imagine just seasonal treats that people would want, and we get to offer that in a healthy, kind of fashion. And then also on October 21st, you guys, that's approaching. That's like just a month away. I'm hosting a Super Saturday. It's at the Embassy Suites in Denver. Martha Whitfield, our regional sales manager, will be here. Cal, who's the area director of the West, will be here from corporate. So there will be free membership and products. But I also have Isagenix Millionaires, Trudy Maples and Kayla Kraft coming and joining us. So that's going to be an amazing, amazing event. That if you guys are here, have people in the surrounding areas. I talked to some people today. There are definitely buses and caravans coming from Nebraska and Wyoming and Arizona. So it's going to be a great event. Just start promoting it. And anyone in the surrounding areas, you guys are more than welcome to come. And just as a heads up, corporate's throwing out different promotions. A seasonal shake is coming around in about 2 weeks. But if we think about where we started the 90-day action plan and my contest, which is the shopping spree that, ends in a couple months, we're about a third of the way in. This is week 5 of our team's kind of 90-day action plan. And I just want you to just think for a second, like, am I on track? And if you're not, that's okay, right? We still have 8 weeks to go, but what do you need to be doing that's differently? Like, what do you need to be doing that you're not doing now that's going to get you those results, right? So I always talk about if you are looking for 2 enrollments in a week, that's 20 conversations. So if you're like, okay, I haven't had double PIBs, more likely you just haven't had than anything is you've just not had enough conversations, asking more people to take a look, more presentations, more tasting parties, more connections, more follow-ups, whatever that is. If you're someone who's maybe, okay, I've enrolled 8 or 10 people, like I'm on track there, but I haven't created a consultant, reach out, talk to us, say, what do I have to do to get them to share? How can I help them find their 2 people? What do I need to do to get them to be on the Eat for Free program? So we can show you how we can empower them, how we can encourage them, how we can teach them, whatever that may be. But if you're someone who's on the executive track, you should be at like 2 to 3 consultants, 4 maybe if you're on the fast track on that 90-day action plan, looking at those enrollments. And just think about those goals you sell at Celebration. And I just put a couple links into our team page about the importance of goal setting, because I think that often in our head, it's like, I'm going to enroll 3 people this week. And then Sunday comes along and you've enrolled 0 people or maybe 1 people, right? And it's like, well, what happened in those 6 days? And all the research will show, and I just put 2 articles in there because I don't want you guys to think like, oh, Lauren says this, Lauren says that, right? But just thinking it, it's like such a small percentage it's going to come to fruition, right? Writing it down, you increase that likelihood. Telling somebody, having an accountability partner really increases it. And then having specific steps of what you're going to do to make that happen really increases those chances. So if you say, okay, I'm enrolling 3 people this week, right? Awesome. First thing, we've got the goal. Then write it down. So then you've got your sticky notes, right? Like I enrolled 3 people with ease. 3 people joined my business with ease. I attract in 3 new customers with ease, right? And you've got your sticky notes everywhere. And then you text someone, or you tell someone, so you message me or Laura or Jen or Kisa or Rachel or Michelle or whoever, right? You're like, hey, just so you know, I'm going for it this week. I'm going for 3 enrollments. I'm going to enroll 3 people this week. Tell somebody. And then what does that look like? Okay, well, if I'm enrolling 3 people, I'm talking to 30 people. It's already Tuesday, right? I have 5 days to do this. That means I'm talking to 6 people the next 5 days, like being able to really break that down. And I assure you guys, if you can get in the habit of doing this, whether you're going for 2-star or 3-star or executive or director or 5-cycle bonus or 4 enrollments or whatever it is, your business will grow. So just remember that thinking it's very unlikely it's going to happen. Writing it down accelerates the process. Telling somebody else really gets you closer to achieving it. But then having that specific plan of what that looks like will really guarantee that success. So with no further ado, I'm going to shut up and I want to turn the call over to Jen and Adam. And you guys know this powerhouse couple. They're from Long Valley, New Jersey. They're 1-star Crystal Executive, 3-star Golden Circles. They have qualified for the Influencers Summit. But more than any of their accolades, I mean, you guys, they have hit executive. They've never fallen out of it. They're a consultant factory over there. But they really just love what they do. I mean, Isagenix has blessed their lives. They love paying it forward. They love seeing what this vehicle does for other people. And I don't know a harder working couple that truly, truly is in love with inspiring others. So it's all you guys.
Thanks, Lauren.
Hey, thank you, Lauren. Yeah, first of all, thank you for everybody getting on this call. We know it's, especially on the East Coast, it's late. I mean, I know I'll be up at 4 a.m., but you guys have really sacrificed today. So we're gonna dive right into it. We got a couple people that are gonna come out and just share our product spotlight. We'll do that first. Roseanne, if you can share with us what the product spotlight is, I appreciate it.
There we go. Hi. Getting off. Thank you very much. All right. So one of my faves in Isagenix is the Isoline bars. They are, as like you see, I stock up. So we do, they have anywhere from 18 to 19 grams of protein. They're full meal replacements. They come in as part of the energy systems. That's how I started off, and I fell in love with them instantly. They're great for snacks. You can have half as a snack, or it's a full meal. I personally, as an owner of a restaurant, I'm always skipping dinner when I'm in the middle of service. So this is like the perfect thing for me to, between reservations, eat one real quick, and I'm good to go for the night. They're great for kids snacks. Many of them are peanut free, so you could, or nut free, so kids can bring them to school. And great for kids that are, you know, traveling a lot between sports and things. It's an easy meal, and it's full of nutrition. Great for it. Now, what I do with my because they come in so many different, I think there's like 10 different flavors, both dairy-free and whey-based. What I do is when I have like, the whole cupboard is full of seasonal shakes and I don't need shakes one month, I'll instead change my auto ship to 6 of these. I'll get an extra 10% discount. And it's also great to tell anybody on your downline. And also if somebody's like about to fall out of consultant, I'll throw in an order for myself, get it shipped to myself. So at least they stay active as consultant. I get my products regardless. So it's great all around. So those are just a few tips, and definitely tasty, and you should all try them.
Thank you, Roseanne. Smart, good tips. And for our product testimony, Carrie, who technologically, I think she can do it. Unmute it.
She's got it.
Hey guys. I did it. So I'm so excited to share with you guys and to be on here. And I guess I can do anything after going live last night. So before I started Isagenix, my stomach was really messed up. I had lots of gut issues, stomach pains. I would regularly just have stomach aches. There were so many different foods that I could not eat. So it was really hard, being home with the kids. They would always be like, Mommy, your stomach hurts. Why do you feel sick? Or even just going on dates with my husband. He would just be frustrated at restaurants, like as I'm sitting there with a piece of plain chicken and he's eating, lasagna or whatever. So I tried so many different, going to health doctor, natural doctors. I tried many different, products and things like that. Nothing worked. So I had gotten this brilliant idea that I was going to go to health and wellness school, whatever that is. So joined up for school. And one night before I started, I decided to look up Jen on Facebook, which I'm on Facebook now, but I was never on Facebook before. And I see that it says health and wellness, at a Feichter house. So I am like, oh, she must be in school. And so I contact her and I asked her, I'm like, so what school do you go to? And she's like, what are you talking about? So she, told me that. She's like, you don't have to go to school. What are you doing? So she shared everything with me about Isagenix and the products and the business side. And sure enough, I got my money back and didn't go to school. And so I started to use the products. I've been on them for almost, it'll be coming up as 2 months. In the beginning, when I started them, I wanted to do the 30-day reset and everything. When I started them, I was sick. And I immediately was like, I want to take these products when I'm sick. So I jump on the line with Jen and Lauren. And I just remember, Lauren saying, she's like, Carrie, your stomach was jacked up for like 15 to 20 years. Why do you expect it to get fixed overnight? And immediately I was like, duh, why do I expect it to be fixed overnight? So I began to take the 2 ounces at a time of a shake. I was not giving up. So 2 ounces at a time, I was taking of the shake, and I started to just get good nutrition in my stomach. I ordered my next, monthly shipment of products, and I ordered vitamins, greens and fruits, and I was so excited. The first time, I hadn't taken women's vitamins in 10 years. I was like 5 years ago, I was able to take chewables, and then I had to stop taking them. So I was like jumping up and down in my kitchen like, I just took a woman's vitamin. I know it sounds crazy, but I just couldn't get good stuff into my body. So, taking, the shakes little bits at a time, was able to start taking the fruits and the greens. And then I started cleansing, and that's when I started to really feel different. I really started to just the whole, process that you guys talk about of getting good stuff in, getting the toxins out. It's just been really awesome. I'm always an up kind of person mentally, though. My body, I was bebopping around. My body wasn't feeling, the same. And so I'm so happy right now to just be feeling good and excited to share that with other people. And, one thing that I just really love is when I'm with the girls and teaching them now with these last 2 months, they're not asking me every day if I feel sick and feeling bad for me. They're just, excited. So I'm pumped.
That's
excited.
Awesome.
Yay.
Hey,
Good job, Carrie. Thank you.
Just
tell she's passionate about it. I love it.
Now, in the bottom left, there should be a mute button, just so. Thank you. Good job. And last, our business story, Alex.
All right. Can you hear me? Good. Awesome. Thank you, guys. And Carrie, I love your story. Awesome. So excited that you've been in for 2 months now. So cool. Well, I get to share the opportunity side of this, and it's fun seeing new faces on here and just knowing what you guys are in for, because this is so much more than I ever could have imagined in so many ways. So when I first started Isagenix, I was overweight. I was exhausted, like a lot of you guys probably felt before you started, struggling to find a solution. I did not know where to turn, what to do. I was a a working mom of 2. My husband and I were both teachers at the time, so we needed our energy, and I did not have that. And so we were not only feeling unhealthy, but also feeling immense financial stress. I mean, as 2 teachers, I know there's other teachers out there on the line right now that understand exactly what I'm talking about, but the financial stress was something I couldn't even put into words. And it was something that was causing me physical pain. I mean, it was not good for my health. And so I signed up for Isagenix because I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to feel good. What I didn't know was that by referring people like my mom and my sister, who I was not going to do this without, of course, because if I was going to fail, so were they. So I signed them up with me, and I didn't realize what was going to happen with those referrals. And I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this now too. As soon as I enrolled them, I was then compensated for those referrals. So it was right before Christmas, and my husband and I were having those conversations about money, and we were not going to be able to afford Christmas for the kids. And that is still one of the worst conversations I've ever had to have, ever. And this money came in 3 weeks before Christmas. And so I was able to go and buy those presents for the kids. And that was the moment I knew I was never going to stop this. So fast forward now, 3 years, I've been using these products, 3 years. And these products still give me the physical results that I want, but it also has continued to pay me. So I currently am no longer a teacher. I was able to transition out of teaching, and now I'm building a new career that I would never have dreamed of before. But because of the residual weekly income coming in from Isagenix, I was able to take the leap. That is not something I could have done before. So I can't even express to you guys how grateful I am to this company, not only for the products, but also because I have a stability there. I feel like I know every Monday something's going to come in, right? I'm going to be able to go to the grocery store and buy food for the kids. Something will happen. So I can't even tell you guys, even 3 years in, I mean, I thought at some point this isn't going to be good anymore. Well, it is, and it just keeps getting better. So I love sharing the story, and my story continues to change. It's just going to be a journey, and I think that's true for everybody on this call. And I just love that real people with real stories can get on here and share those things. I'm living it right now. I got paid yesterday. Thank God I got paid yesterday. I'm able to do what I want to do. This is real, you guys. This is so real. I can't even tell you. So I thank you, Jen and Adam, for letting me share my story that continues to change. I'm just so grateful. So thanks, guys.
I love it. And you were the first person I met at Celebration, and I remember just connecting with you, and just another teacher. I love, love, love it. And I love your hearts. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, so
wait, first of all, we need to say happy birthday to George Duker. George Duker is on here with Anna on his birthday. So everyone can wave because they can't hear you now. But yay, George. He's
all right, awesome.
49 again.
Alex, thank you. Amazing story. Love it every time I hear it. All right, so let's talk about being a leader. Everybody that's on this call is a leader, wants to be a leader. Whether you're an associate, you're an executive in this company, you crave to be a leader. Some of us actually don't want that position. And me, 2.5 years ago, wanted nothing to do with being a leader until you all of a sudden get thrown into those positions. And then once you learn about being uncomfortable, actually is what makes you grow. That's what creates, this movement that, just it kind of excites you because there's people that are depending on you. So think about the places that you work. There are people that are just natural leaders there that aren't in a position of leadership, but people follow them because they're confident, they're sure. Let's think about being a leader. There are people out there who want to be led. Most of us know people that want to be led, and that is the employee versus employer mindset, which most people do want to be told what to do. So you have, people that you're coaching that are looking to you, and they want to be reassured that you're going to lead them from point A to point B, because where they want to go. And how do you do that? By being consistent, by getting to their goals and assuring them that we are going to create something amazing together, whether that's product or business related, because typically most people come into this as a product user and they want to know that you're going to be the person that leads them to the results that they want. So how do we do that? You know, we assure them that they're going to have an amazing product transformation. So let's think about what it means to be a leader. Think about somebody in your life that is a leader. What qualities do they have? And things that came to my mind are, there's somebody that's confident, somebody that's sure of themselves, has followers. Think about it. You can't lead anybody if nobody's following you. They are somebody that goes first. They create an inspiring vision and kind of cast something for somebody else to kind of foreshadow what their life could be like. So when we think about the products, think about asking people, you know, those important questions. How is it going to feel when we get you? And notice how we say we, because you're taking them there, because they're going to borrow your belief. You're casting a vision for them, and then you're also getting them to engage with that vision. So getting them to visualize what their life's going to look like. How are they going to be different? And then I love asking a practical question like, hey, do you have a pair of pants? Do you have a shirt that you're gonna wear when we get to that desired weight? And then they can kind of see it for themselves before, you know, they're seeing it for themselves before, or you're seeing it for them before they're even seeing it for themselves. So really great leaders ask really great questions. So some of those great questions are getting down to somebody's why, and not just, I want to lose weight. How is that going to feel? How is that going to affect your life? What is that going to allow you to do? So even not just scratching the surface, but really getting deep into what they desire and how that's going to change. So we posture a little bit better. We use a little bit different verbiage. Sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, being a little bit more confident and believing it. And sometimes we say fake it until we make it. And it's kind of true, because we don't fail, we just fall forward, and we don't, you know, we have learning experiences, and we don't ever call them failure. So we're kind of falling forward and using that simple verbiage like we versus, you know, you, saying that we're going to do this together. So we also want to give reasonable expectations to people. So to go back a little bit, products and business to me are the same exact thing. Most of us started for the products, but to me, the products and the business, the products goes hand in hand. And if you're a leader with somebody and can get them the product result that they're looking for, then they're going to trust eventually, when they get to that point, that you're going to be able to help them get the business result that they're looking for. So we give them reasonable expectations. So just like Lauren told Carrie, you know, it took how many years to get to this position? Why would you expect in 5 days that it's going to reverse? The same thing with somebody who wants to lose 20, 30, 40, 50 plus pounds. It's not going to take 30 days. It's going to take, you know, 6 months, a year. It could be, you know, an ongoing process that goes on for a while. The same with the business side of it.
Right.
It's not going to take 3 months to create an amazing residual income. There are some exceptions of people that do it, but that's not the rule and that's not the norm. And, you know, it's not being a smart leader by casting that vision for somebody that isn't true. So we're talking about leadership from start to finish. So let's talk about the start. We ask people to take a look. How are we a leader when we're connecting with people and asking people to take a look? We're excited. We stand up tall. We're looking people in the eyes. You know, we ask great questions. We get deep into their why. We're forward speaking. We're casting that vision and saying, what is your life going to look like when you get to that result? So forward speaking is huge, showing them this is where you're going and we're going to get there together.
Yeah, like a mom that has zero energy and, you know, you're hopping on the phone and you're saying, imagine when you can actually play with your kids in the middle of the day instead of laying down on the couch to nap because you are so exhausted. Same thing that Lauren says that Janny always did for her when she said, imagine what your life is going to look like when you're not working, 80 to 100 hours a week. It's constantly having that conversation and forward speaking that for someone so that they believe you. You see it before they even know it's even possible, and keep reiterating that.
So then we connect with somebody. Then we ask them to get on a call. But again, there's that certain way that you ask these questions. You're almost forward speaking. When would you be able to watch a short video? Not would you be able to. I added just when to watch a 6-minute video. So are mornings or evenings better? And then give 2 times and give a date that you're available. Don't say something like, oh, when would you be able to watch it? Or, or just send them the video and then just hope that they reach back to you. No, set the date. You have something amazing in your hand. You have a video, you have information. Don't ruin that information by handing it to them because they're not getting back to you, because you as a leader are setting them up for failure if you do that. And subconsciously, you're actually giving them a reason to say, maybe this isn't the person for me, because they're just, handing this information out to everybody. Like, they didn't pre-qualify me. They might not think that, but subconsciously that's probably what's going through their head. So again, don't give out that information until the appointment is set. And then we go to the enrollment, the actual conversation. This is where, it takes some time to really get really good at. So we ask a question like, what did you like about the video? Not, did you like the video? Because we're trying to inspire them to come up with something that they like. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? Remember when you said, and then fill in the blank, we're inspiring them to think about what their life is going to look like. So then as a leader, we ask for the sale. And that can get really awkward. You're on the phone and like, yeah, that sounds really great. And you're like, yeah, I know, it's amazing. And they're like, yeah, it's really great. And then we just go back and forth, and then it gets awkward. And then, let me know tomorrow. No. Hey, is there any reason you wouldn't get started today? What is your favorite flavor? Chocolate or vanilla? Like, all I got to do is get your information. We'll get you started. So it's just posturing again. It's, say what you're going to do and then do it, because consistency, follow through is what lets somebody know that you're the leader, you're in charge, and they want you to lead them. Right.
And then it goes from, the whole thing, we were trying to think about like topics for this call too. It was like, everybody thinks about leader like you're leading a team, and really we're all leading people, right? We're leading people to cleanse coaching. We're leading people to, make healthier choices. We're leading people to learn how to refer to get their products paid for. It's all leadership, right? People are looking to you. So even when you're enroll someone, right? Your order, you're all set. So this is the time now that a lot of people will drop the ball. Don't say to someone, is it okay if I add you into this private group? Because then we talk there if we have diarrhea, or we might talk about, they don't need to know. Just tell them, hey, I'm going to add you to our private Facebook group for support. There's amazing recipes on there. There's amazing this, there's amazing that. Like, don't ask them. The amount of people that get no's are because they're asking them. I think I've had one person ever say, don't add me in 2.5 years. So if you keep getting the objection, like, oh, they don't want to be in the Facebook group, that's because you're making it weird, or you're making it sound like we're some like cultish group who all wears, diapers around. Like, I don't really know what it is, but it's not a weird thing. It's a positive community, like, that does offer solutions to problems if someone does have issues or something. So tell them you're adding them to the group and you want to welcome them. I always let them know that. Okay. So I tell them that, and then I say to them about the auto ship. If you're someone that's not enrolling in auto ship, I don't give them a choice. Once again, I have all their information. I say, hey, I'm going to add you to a private Facebook group. You're going to love, love, love it. I'm going to put you on auto ship. Don't worry. Nothing's going to go out until we talk. It's just to get you the best wholesale pricing, right? You're going to get an additional amount off your pack. Your annual membership is only $29 versus $39. So I'm reassuring them that nothing is going out, because right when we get off the phone, I'm adding that into my calendar. Like, nothing's going to go out. Like we already talked about that. I'm going to be following up with them the entire month, and they're on auto ship because it's the best thing for them. But I will tell you, I was scared when Laura first, I got an email saying I was on auto ship. I freaked out. I was like, lady, I've already told you I'm probably going to return the products. Like, let alone I don't want another box coming to my house of shakes that I didn't even open for 3 weeks. Like, that's a true story. Like, I did not want it. But, she knew, she put me on auto ship because that's the best thing to do. People can cancel later on. They can push out the date, but just tell people don't worry about it right now and tell them the reasons why you're doing it. Again, I'm not saying, can I put you on auto ship? I'm taking the leadership position and saying, I am adding you to the group. I am, putting on auto ship. We'll talk. You're in control of your own account. So those are some things right there. Isa-Body Challenge. Raise your hand if you've ever done Isa-Body Challenge. Yes, or you're in one or something. If your hand is not up, you need to get on Isa-Body Challenge, okay? There's no reason, again, as leaders, we have to be able to tell people to do something because we do it too, right? We can't say that we're a product and never use the products. We can't tell people to sign up for Healthy Mind and Body or to do, now I just lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness. What did I just say before?
You said Healthy Mind and Body.
I'm like trying to read the Zoom also. I can't read the chats and do it at the same time.
Auto ship.
Oh, that's right. I can't. I'm like obviously not a multitasker. I'm like squirrel. So wait, I'll answer that in a second. So if we do Healthy Mind and Body,
I was just saying to them, like I'm reiterating what you're saying. Like it's important that we're explaining auto ship when we enroll them. Don't. No.
Oh,
just
sorry.
I'll stop typing. Keep talking.
Post it over.
I'm going to pretend. Sorry. I apologize. So you can't tell people to do these things and not do it. Like you have to sign up for Healthy Mind and Body yourself. You have to sign up for Isa-Body Challenge yourself. Like you need to be able to take these pictures and post them and say that you weren't in a thong bikini, that you actually did it in clothes and there was nothing to be scared of. It didn't get posted all over social media and that you're still living after doing this. This is what people need to hear. So do it. So if your hand was not raised, please do it. And if you finish your Isa-Body Challenge, sign up for the next one right away. So do what you're telling people to do. It's not a one size fits all, right? With coaching, like I get a hat, one size fits all. No, one size does not fit little heads that run in Jen's family. Absolutely not. It's not a one size fits all. It's one size fits most. So most people are going to have no problem with the way it shakes, right? Most people are going to be able to drink it. And then you get Carrie who signs up and wants to die. Like that's not most people, but they have to learn to be coached that's okay. Most of the time that doesn't happen. When it does, don't freak out. Let's get you in touch with someone else. So when Carrie told me these things and I was like, why did you start all the products at once? What are you doing? Like, she's like, I don't want to bother you while you're in Vegas. Like, no, I knew like, red flag. She's already had so many problems. So instead of me freaking out, what did I do? I automatically took a leadership role, started a message with Lauren, who knows better, and with Lauren said Rachel knows. So I got her in touch with people that were able to say, been there, done that, here's what we're going to do, instead of saying, oh my goodness, this is terrible, we should probably call customer service and return it, or you've never heard of something like this, I don't know, are you green also? Like I didn't freak her out more. I was like, all right, no big deal, that didn't happen to me. But, again, taking a leadership stance that it's okay, and we have other, people that this has happened to and things that we can work through. So people are looking to you for that. So during that coaching role, if you've never seen the Tracy O'Malley 14-day talk, I would highly recommend Googling it, Tracy O'Malley 14-day talk. It's awesome. And she talks about how people, are going to hate you your first day. You're not going to like someone, right? You're not going to feel that great. And I'm going to have a headache and this and that. And she goes through all the days and she gives it ahead of time. Like, you may experience X, Y, Z, but then in day 5, you're going to be loving me and you're going to be calling me and then you're going to recommend all your friends to me. And it's like, she goes through everything to make them feel like it's normal when they get a headache, that they're not the only person that's ever happened to it. Their body's detoxing and it's completely normal. So I would look that one up.
Yeah, definitely. And just to add on that, when people are new to this company, when is the most important time? Because we know the secret to residual income is customers and repeat customers. So if somebody's going to have an issue, typically it's in that first 14 days, 3 weeks. So, you want to be on top of them and text them or actually ask them, what's the best way to communicate with you? Should I call you? Should I text you? Should I Facebook message you? And find out what's the best way to communicate with them and say, listen, I'm going to be with you the first couple weeks. And then, you don't have to tell them this, but you're going to essentially set them free, because once you get them going and they are comfortable with their back office and they're comfortable with how to get started and reorder and, and going back to the auto ship, say, listen, nothing's going to go out without your approval, and make sure you stick to that. And you set an alarm for 3 days before saying, hey, your auto ship's coming up, or just call them and say, your auto ship's coming up. Let's log in. Let's talk about this. And if you are there with them for that first month and give them the most amazing experience, guess what? They're probably going to be with you for the next 6 months, a year, maybe several years later. And that's where it gets nice. And then they start enrolling people and doing the same thing. So it's all about that first couple weeks, as hard as it can be. But don't abandon people. Don't enroll somebody and just abandon them and let them figure it out themselves, because retention will not be where you want it to be.
Yeah. And I feel like that's not being true to yourself and why you're doing this. And if that is why someone's doing this, they shouldn't be doing it. Go back to integrity and why you got started with someone. And plug people into the groups, right? I mean, they'll definitely go back and forth with people, but there's also times that you want to duplicate yourself and you can't do that, with hundreds of people, but you have to plug people back into the groups and see that it's a team, it's a support, it's a whole support system of people that are helping and not just you. So, and being a leader too also means connecting like people together. So like when Carrie had the issues, you put her in touch with this person, or, Christina, when she first told me she wanted to do this, but she couldn't cleanse, I got her, in touch. Okay, what do we do? What did other people do? It's always trying to put people together so that they don't feel so alone. So leaders set up that also, right? And if you know two people are going to work well together, product-wise, business-wise, put them together, make them accountability partners, like utilize each other. I have to say that that's really, really, really big. So you're a leader before you're even a leader. So even if you don't feel like one, take the stance of it. Take the posture, like Adam was talking about. Stand up tall. Even if you don't think you have, the position, pretend that you are. Because I had no clue what I was doing. Zero, but I was really excited. And I just heard Lauren say earlier about Jessica always saying, excited, and people are excited and confused. They're not really sure what to do and they just do it. And that's what I had no clue, but it was the posture that I was so passionate. I knew the products worked. I didn't need to know what was in it, but people followed that because they were excited too. So that they're going to follow your leadership role, whether you really are a leader or not. Just pretend you are. So that's what I would definitely say. And I have to say also about back to the even just one thing of the auto ship. Make sure that you guys are putting people on 29 days. So even if people are saying they're not building this business, as leaders, we know that we want people's auto ships going out every 29 days versus 30. Right? Because again, I didn't know why for the first year and a half, and I just did it because I was told to. But it really, when I understood it, I was like, oh my goodness, that makes so much more sense. So you could look in the Dreamers in Action page, look up 29-day auto ship, and it'll explain why. It's a whole nother separate call. But that's even being a leader, setting up people's auto ships to be 29 days so that they occur all this volume more, so that when one day they refer or they understand what this is, that they will be like, wow, that's awesome. I have all that sitting there. So.
Yeah, and I think just to finish too is it's so weird in the world that all of us probably came from before network marketing or Isagenix. For you to say I don't know in your old job, how long would you have worked there? Probably not very long. But in this profession, if you say I don't know and you're a tour guide and you just kind of guide people in the right direction, otherwise you're going to be bogged down by all these people, because in the next couple months, couple years, you're going to have thousands of people in your downline, and they're going to, if they're all coming to you, you're not going to have any time to make new connections. So the best thing you can do, and I think Lauren does this best, she has all these saved notes where she just copy paste, look it up, go to her. I don't even go to her for silly questions anymore, because I know exactly what she's going to say. And you know what? She's protecting herself because she has 10,000 plus people that do this to her all day long. So the best thing you can do is kind of be a guide and say, you know what, Google it, go to the group, ask it in Dreamers and Cleansers, because this way everybody can learn instead of me just being on a one-on-one text. So it has definitely taken me time to learn that, but it is an amazing skill that will save you a lot of time.
Yeah, and if you put a kiss face after it, it always helps.
It's not as mean.
Right, it's definitely not mean, right? I love that. So I think that's all we had. I'm sorry, talked fast, kind of a little bit all over, but just going back to, guys, everyone's a leader on here. So embrace it, go with it, and you will have so much more retention in your business and attracting in so many other people.
You guys, this is so good. It's awesome. I'm like in a Facebook chat, people that are on here, I'm on like this chat and trying to keep up with it. And you guys, I hope in the very beginning too, when they were just saying like, you know, what are the characteristics of the people that you follow? You know, not even in Isagenix. Like you might be inspired by Susan Fly or Tracy O'Malley or Laura Stevens, but just in general, like, are you someone who tends towards Gandhi or Oprah or Robin Sharma or Tony Robbins or, you know, whoever that is and why? Like, what is it that they bring to the table? Then every single day committing to getting better and you showing up as the people you aspire to be, you'll see that more people will trust you and follow you. Being okay to fail forward, you know, being okay to learn as you go. I mean, and when you're leading 3 people, it's different than 300 or 3,000. And just like Alex said, her story keeps changing. You keep growing and you keep stepping into that. So you guys, this was super awesome. And the last thing I just want to clarify, if you're picking on me about responding to messages, and I just trained on this on the 2-star and above or that step up to success call last week, is what's the difference between enabling and empowering? And my answer to that, and I just want to reiterate it because it's very important for all of you, because the number one reason why people will say that they can't do this outside of that they don't feel like they have the skills to lead or they don't have the skills to manage a team or be an entrepreneur is that they don't have the time. Right? So 80 to 85% of our entire organization is always going to be product users. So then 10 to 15% are going to build this business. Less than 4% are going to do this full time and make 6 figures and above. So that means we've got a few percentage of people that are wanting to make a couple $100s a week, you know, $1,000 a month or something of that sort. And those are the people that we're focusing most on, that have limited time, that are committed. And how in the pockets of their time can they earn that residual income and pay it forward? And that's part of why we're teaching this, is that people get overwhelmed and they're gonna quit. They're gonna say, you know what, I don't actually care about that few $100s a month because they don't feel like they have the time to do it. And people get caught up in the busy stuff instead of the big stuff. And by going first and doing that, you're not only protecting your time, but you're also showing them how to do that. So a lot of times when I get that question, I say, you know, I'll be more than happy to answer that. Please post it in Cleansers so that you can learn from the team. And if I'm going to answer it once, I want 10,000 people to see the answer, right? Same as the business questions. I mean, Kendra, I think she's on here. She's one of my favorite people that she'll text me and almost immediately as I'm writing back, can you post that in Dreamers? It's already there because she knows I'm going to answer it. But it's not a stupid question. And if she's asking that question, other people have that question. And so you're really showing a lot of people. But that answer of empower or enable is, can you Google that? You know what I mean? In my mind, like if you ask me, are our shakes gluten-free? In the time that you asked me, Google would have already responded back to you. I mean, that's its job, is to be a professional search engine. That's not my job. You know, if someone asks me, how many consultants do I need to hit director? Like you can find that stuff. If someone asks me, you know, why is there sugar in our shakes? And the time that you look that up, you know, you would find that information. Or I'll say, you know what, it's on Isagenix Health. Search that in this website. Like I'm still guiding you to the resources because what's not duplicative is me memorizing everything and dishing out those answers. But saying that's a great question, you can find it on isagenixhealth.net, right? When someone's like, hey, can someone with celiac use Isagenix? I'm like, you know what, I would type that question in. You're probably going to find a result from isagenixhealth.net, right? That is much different than really empowering people and supporting them and them saying, you know what, I really want to have a launch party. I don't really know how to invite people, or what do I serve, or what do I tell people, or any of those things. And that's where you step up and you lock arms and you show them how to build this business. And just remember of that time, if someone's going to ask you a question that Google can do it, that's when we're saying that's not your job. You know, like use the tools, like get them to not be lazy. They're wanting you to do the work that they're not doing, right? Which is much different than pouring into someone, building belief into them and teaching them a skill set that they don't necessarily have. So you guys are awesome. I mean, there's 35 of you on here on a Tuesday night. I mean, kudos to all of you. Keep crushing the 90-day game plan. Look out for the seasonal shake. Rumor is it's the week of October 3rd. So probably 2 weeks from today is what I would hunch on. I don't have that confirmed. Don't post anything yet. I don't even know what flavor it is. That's just the rumor on the streets. I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. Definitely please look at the holiday samples, sips, seasonal sample sip. I can't get that right. I'm going to call it the triple S. Whatever the holiday triple S is, sign up for that, schedule one. Let's have some fun with it. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Jen and Adam. And thank you, Carrie and Alex, for sharing your stories, and Roseanne for the awesome bar education. I love the idea of ordering shakes one month and bars the next. So you're always getting the 10% discount. I would actually love for you to post that in Cleansers. That's such a good tip. People need to know that. So thank you guys. Good night.
Good night.
Good night,
Thank you. Bye,
guys.
guys.
Happy birthday, George. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.